All right. Looks like a busy one this morning. 6 o'clock flight. The time is now 4:23. This was a bizarre night. It took about 45 minutes to get my first trip. Then it took an hour to get my second trip. And then I didn't have all that many trips. I was worried at 11 o'clock when I didn't have my lease on yet. Then I had a really strange customer. She walked right up to me when I was in a parking lot watching some video. And she asked me if I was available, and I said yes. And so she got in and told me to go to a street corner. When we got to that street corner, she says, I'm just going to stop here for a minute. She had 2 bags of clothing, I guess, in the back seat. And she left those bags in the back seat, and she went to a tent that was in a park, saying that her husband was there. I waited for 15, 20 minutes while the meter ticked. And the meter ticked over $20 while I was waiting for her. Then she came back, and then she said she had to go to a gas station, a particular gas station, where I took her. And over there, she wasn't achieving anything. She wasn't accomplishing anything. She was just waiting for someone who never showed up. Another 15, 20 minutes. Then she went to a house. She said she'll be right back. Okay, went to that house. I waited about 5 minutes there. That wasn't too bad. And then she says, we're going back to the tent and I'm going to call that a night. Okay. By the time we got back to the tent, the fare was $42.50. She went to the tent, and her bags of stuff are still in the back seat. So she went to the tent. Oh, what's his problem? She went to the tent and made me wait another 10 minutes before she came out with a $50 bill to pay me. And she said that she needs the 5 back because she's broke. Wow. At one point she asked me what night it was. Is it Saturday night? No, it's actually Monday morning. It was the Sunday night. So, and at one point she asked me to, if I had a phone with a speakerphone. I said yes. She says, could you dial this number and put the speakerphone on? Which I did. All she got was not a busy signal, but a voicemail. Had another customer later, got sent to a house, pick up this girl, took her home. The fare was about $10.40. She gave me $20. She gave me a 10, a 5, 3 loonies, and 8 quarters. Looks like somebody paid her to go home. And she passed it all on to me. Then I cleared from a trip at 12:30. I think it was that one. I started to watch some video and fell asleep. I didn't wake up till 4 o'clock or quarter to 4. Where I was being sent on a call. That took me to the airport, and from which I'm now going back into town. Yeah. What an uneventful night this was. At least I got to go to the airport. At least I got some money. Here we are again at the airport. Tuesday morning. Time is 4:13. Now, this was a busier night than the Sunday night. At around 1 o'clock, I had $250 on. Now I had another trip to the airport, which was $63, so I've got over $300 on, which is acceptable. And now it's a couple hours, or just under a couple hours to go. Oh yeah, I got a chiropractor appointment this morning, and I think the owner's coming back from his big trip. He was out of the country for 3 weeks. And he gave me post-dated checks to see, when we use the Interac machine, which also does credit cards and stuff, the money goes directly into his bank account, and some of that money is mine, because I always have more Interac and credit card business than it costs me to run the car. So I got to write myself some checks, which was nice. Anyway, if he's back, then he'll be driving this car in the morning, maybe. So yeah, gonna wash it, gonna detail the interior and park it and go to the chiropractor. Oh, I'm tired. I was sleeping earlier this morning because I didn't have any trips between 1 and 3:45, so had almost a 3-hour break there. Of course, I started watching YouTube and I fell asleep. Happens all the time. So yeah, it's a good morning. Took this old lady to Vegas, to the airport, and she's flying to Vegas because she has to get out after the COVID and see some bright lights for a change and get cheered up. So she's going down to Vegas, where she'll be meeting some friends who are also going down there. Good for her. All right, 3 more nights to go this week. The Tuesday night was a relatively quiet night, and I wasn't getting any longer trips. So I did 19 trips and had a total of about $250. That's all. I would have wanted more for my trouble. And I spent much of the morning sleeping. I watched a fair amount of video, and I spent much of the morning sleeping. And there was one point, I guess it was a couple hours into my shift, I got sent a long distance to go get someone. So I went that long distance. And when I got there, there was a car in the driveway with somebody sitting in the driver's seat. Then I see the customer coming out of the house and goes towards the other car, and then tells the driver something, and then comes walking towards me. Now, the trip was about 5 or 6 minutes old when I got it, and I was sent a long distance to get it, so the trip was about, 13 or 14 minutes old when I got there. The guy walks up towards me, and I roll my window down, and he says, The job kept getting reassigned to different cars, and then I gave up and got my own driver. So I don't need you. Well, gee, thanks. You know, I go through all the effort of going to get him, and he decides to pull something like that without canceling. He could have canceled the call, but no. He made me come all the way there so that he could tell me that he's got another driver because his trip got reassigned over and over again. Why was it reassigned over and over again? Because it wasn't going very far. And he put it in the app where he was and where he was going. And nobody wanted to drive all the way out there to go get him, to go nowhere. Yet I did my job, and I'm the one who got punished for it. Gee, thanks. Anyway, that was the whole tone for the night. I couldn't get really long trips to save my life. So, there you go. That was the Tuesday night. 2 more nights to go this week. Well, it's that time again, 5:48 a.m. It's time to call it quits. This has been the evening was okay until midnight. It was okay. I did about $220 in that time. And since then, the morning was an extremely slow morning. There's a trend going on there. A trend where things are slowing down in the morning and like nothing's happening. Could it be now finally that this big recession that everybody's been predicting, is it happening now? Is it happening now? I've had 3 mornings that were extremely slow. I mean, so extremely slow that I had a 4-hour break. My next trip after midnight, I cleared at midnight, and my next trip was, well, I got a call about 2 hours later, and I went to go get it, and I pressed the icon, you know, for saying I was there, and nobody came out. So then I phoned about 5 minutes later, and nobody answered the phone. So I phoned again 5 minutes later, and nobody answered the phone. So that's when I decided, well, this is not loading, this is not happening. It's a no load. So I drove back to the spot where I was when I got called, because I wanted to be comfortable. So I went back to the spot where I was when I got called, and as soon as I got there, I was being sent there again to go get that guy. Well, how's he gonna, if he didn't answer my message that I'd arrived, and he didn't answer the phone, is he gonna answer, is he gonna not answer again? So forget it. Let somebody else do that call. And I had 2 other calls, one at about 4:20, and the other one was at about 5. Both $15 trips. They were both okay. That was all good. And now I'm heading to the car wash, because the next guy to drive this car is going to be the owner. Might as well clean it up for him, even though it doesn't look too bad right now. Yeah, clean it up. Nothing coming. Beautiful. Head down to car wash. And then go to the bank, because I will have some money to deposit this time. I got paid by my generous customer who last time didn't pay me. And said, I'm gonna owe you. Okay, so he owed me. This time he called me to come and get him, and I collected. Yeah, that worked out. But the night as a whole, $250. Plus the 40 I got from him. $290. Really, if I would have had a better morning, this would have been a spectacular night. Because I had $220 by midnight. I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna wash the car. Well, I'm out in East Souk, and I'm on my way back into Victoria. And yeah, you go first. You go first. I don't want to hold you up. I dropped off in East Souk about 5-6 minutes ago, and that's quite a ride. That's like $80 from where I picked her up in town, and she gave me an extra 20, so it was $100. I got $380 on. So before that, it wasn't too hectic busy, but I didn't get to sleep much. I got to watch a fair bit of video, but could have been. Well, these are crazy roads out here. Need your high beam just to see where the road goes. Well, it doesn't help that I have lights on in here, illuminating me, as if we needed that. So anyway, it was a long enough night. I did okay. I got 380 on. I'm on my way home, or back to town. I'm just gonna fuel up, add up the Interacts, throw all that stuff in the glove box, and that's it. The owner's back in town. He was gone for 3 weeks. He went to the UK. Car behind me. Yeah, you can pass me if you want. I don't mind. Pass me if you want. No, he's not passing me. Okay. I guess people out here, they're on their way to work already at this hour of the morning. That was it. That was my last trip. I'm just heading back into town. The week is over. I'm fairly tired from it. Just got to be aware of where the road goes, because I don't know the road. I haven't been out here in something like 20 years. And she said, "Oh, we're going to East Souk." I'm going, "Huh? Oh, I haven't been there in a while." It's pretty wild out here. She was talking about bears and cougars, and great, that's what I need. A bear or a cougar to run out in front of me. And she says, "Oh yeah, I see cougars running across the street all the time." The only time I saw a cougar ever was at that park in Mexico. and I had the camera rolling, and the cougar meowed just for me. And the other one was pregnant. She was fat. Fat pregnant cougar. About to give birth. Well, that's it. Hope yours is better than mine.